remember something, or if I'm creating a pattern for something, I always physically make it first. And as I'm making it, I'll take notes down on my pad. I digress. Let's carry on here. The first page, there's no manipulation to it, no altering of it. It's going to have a photo mat on it with the flip down, if you remember. The second page is going to be a pocket page, or the second paper page, actually. And how I do my pocket pages is, let me show you exactly how I cut them too, because it's kind of important. I determine, like, I wanted this to be 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4 inches, I needed to cut through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I needed to cut through 8 of the spine area hooks. So I take a small pair of scissors like this, and I don't know if you can see this on camera or not, but I push the page up because I don't want to catch any of the pages below when I'm clipping. So I push the page up, pull all the pages down, push the page up you're clipping, so that when you go up in between these spirals, you're only cutting the one page. So I hope you can see that, see how that works. Then once you get those cut, you can go ahead and flip them up with your scissors. Never just yank on them and pull on them, because you still might tear something. So all of them that you have cut loose, foot loose, cut loose, flip them up there. And then I don't usually score on this paper. I did to begin with when I did mine, but then I realized this paper will fold nicely and it doesn't crack and break like other papers do. So I did not really put a score line in there. You could depending on your paper pad. If you're not sure how it's going to react, do a test page, or just go ahead and use your scoreboard. It just will take some manipulation to get it to lay properly so you can run a good score line, or you could lightly put a score line in it with just your ruler and your score pad. Don't press too hard because you don't want to score the page underneath also. So I get this up here, and then what I do is I take liquid glue. Now I'm using the Scotch quick dry adhesive. I use Tombow. I use all kinds of glues. My favorite, I think, is this quick dry and my Tombow. But again, I'm out of my Tombow. I put a little dab of glue into every little hole, every little puka where that's going to go. And then I tuck all these back in underneath. And I use tweezers. You can use a skewer. You can use a bobby pin. I like the tweezers because if one gets whopper-jawed, I can kind of pull it back out and get it. Yeah, right. I love it. Welcome to my world. I can pull it back out and get it to lay a little flatter. But I think you get the idea here of what I'm trying to do. Why is it that when you're showing someone else, it never comes out as easily as when you're all by yourself listening to your favorite music? That's another thing. I usually listen to music when I do things like this, so I feel a little out of my element anyway. You could use a skewer, you could use a Q-tip, you could use that pokey thing. Paper piercer, I think, is the correct name for it. You can tell I use my tweezers a lot. I've got glue on it, and that might be part of the problem. I might need to clean some of that up. But anyway, you actually don't have to get them just perfect, and they'll lay down fine, and they will actually roll fine. The key is to get it as flat as you can so the page will turn. Okay? So I think you get the idea. There we go. Now we're getting some prettiness, some evenness. And if it gets too wonky looking, let it dry and then smack some more ink in there and cover up your mistakes. Okay, then on this edge, I just run a real thin line of the glue too, just to seal the edge. You could leave the edge open if you wanted. You could use tape, but tape will have a tendency, it just sits on the surface of the paper. It doesn't really become one with the paper. So if you use tape, the stickiness will always remain inside your pocket. But to get around that, when you put your tags in, tap the edge of the tag in some baby powder first and slide your tag in, and that powder will bump up against the edge of that tape and take away all the stickiness. So we've got a little bit, I probably have manipulated this too much and it stretched it a little bit. But I'm going to, next I will punch a tab in here. So let's go on to another page. The next page is a half page, a journaling page, and I have folded it this direction. And whenever I fold, I always fold to the back unless I need the front edge of the paper to create a lip of some type. On this one, I don't, so I'm folding it to the back, and I'm coming in right up to butt up against those score lines I put in. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to run a bead of glue down the side, down the bottom, and that's going to create a pocket. Before I glue it down, though, I'll punch a half circle out of here, or an oval, or whatever you like to use to create these type. I'm glad I have this finished one with me. Whatever, well, let's go to the page we're looking at. Hello. See, there's the pocket. I just punched that in there. It doesn't really serve any purpose because your tags are going to be so much bigger and you don't really need it to pull out, but I did it as a design element there. And then this is the page we're working on now. And this has a tag inside here, so you can see this is all smooth. And then I glued it down here in the back and then covered it up with this tag that came with the paper line. And that, now my tags stick up quite a bit because I like that, but you could effectively pull your tags down just to the top of here, and that would then become more important as the thumb area to pull the tag out. So I hope you're still with me on all this. The next one's going to be a flat map page. This is the word stick page where I have clipped the top of this and pulled it down here. Now when you are sealing these word sticks, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put glue here, tuck this back down in here, run glue along the bottom here, or you could staple this just to give it a little bit more texture or different visual effect, or you could put the seam binding on it like I've done on my double word stick page. Let me show it to you here. And I attached it just by, I ran a piece of tape along the top here and then gathered my seam binding, and then I came back in and put staples in. And the staples are what holds these pockets shut, because you don't want to get too deep into the pocket with the glue or the tape, or you're not going to have a lot of room for your word sticks to go in. So, little hint there. So that would create that page. We've got another full page. You know what? I think this might have been the pocket page, and or the diagonal pocket page. To create the diagonal pocket page, all I did was, if you want your opening on this side of the page, you're going to draw a line from here to here, cut it, and then pop out this section of the paper. And then you will just glue along here, glue along there. Now if you want your pocket page on the facing page, you do the same thing, just this is the side of the paper that you would remove. And I didn't want mine to come this direction. I wanted mine to go this direction, if that makes sense. Just something different. So, let's find it here. Or did we do that? Oh, I guess it was further back in the book. So here it is, right here. So this was the full page. Right here was the full page. This side was the cut page. But by leaving it intact down here, you really don't have to do anything more down here. You just end up gluing this area and this area up here. So hopefully that makes sense. And let's see, anything else unusual? This is just making another lower pocket. I think you got the hang of the pocket pages. You don't have to set yours up exactly the way I did either. Make it your own. This is where I did that half pocket where it's just folding part of the page back, glue here, you're done. There's your pocket. And then I created a pocket on the back just out of the graphic 45 paper, just gluing it on 3 of the 4 sides, leaving the top open. The folded pages, these are, I really thought about adding even more of these because I like these. These are fun, and all this involves is just divide your paper width up into 3 sections depending on if you're using the same side of pad as I'm using. Then I think it was 2, let me see. Well, it's pretty much 8 divided by 3. This was a 2 3/4 inch fold back, or fold forward. So I folded it forward, then I folded it backward, and then you're going to put your pull tab on here. See? How easy is that? That's one of my favorite pages to do too. Let me show you the finished one in here. And are you getting dizzy yet? Here we go. This is that page where it just folds up and then folds back. And again, the Strathmore, the 80-pound, and the way that it's treated just makes such a nice fold back. It doesn't crack on the folded edges, and it's got good weight to it. I'm really happy with this. In fact, I picked up another Strathmore pad just to digress a little bit. Here it is, and it's a smaller one yet, and I'm going to be using this for my word of the year. And I'll do another video when I get it. I've got some of the pages done. I just haven't finished them. So this is the little Strathmore recycled sketch paper. Again, no perforations at the top. This one's 3.5 by 5. It's got 100 sheets in it, so that gives you 200 sheets to focus on your word of the year. So that'll be another time, another place. I'm just excited about it. I like finding something that I've never used before and thinking of all the things I can do with it. So here we go. I think that about covers all the different types of page alterations. If you, manipulations that I did, if you have any questions, just post it in the comments or email me. Oh, here, this is one other page. I did want to show you this. This was that one where I put the little pocket in there to hold all the key cards and all that. And what's in there now? Oh, my Godiva chocolate rewards card. Got to take that with me everywhere I go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Love my Godiva. Anyway, here's how I created that, and that is pretty simple too. One page. You're going to fold it in half this way to get you a score line. Then you are on this one, you are going to cut, let me see if I remember. Did I cut the bottom? Yeah, you're going to cut the top. Okay? You're going to make your cut at the top down to this score line. Are you following me? And then, Did that come? Yeah, that's right. Making myself dizzy here. This is upside down for you guys. Let me turn it around. Did you follow me through that? Follow with me through that. You're going to do your cuts up here. You're going to fold this to the back. Hello. There we go. Got it. I'm going to punch my little tab out here. This is going to fold down here. And then this is going to fold over. Now, to make this fold work, when you have it still open like this, okay, this is the back of your book. This score line here, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut on the right of the score line and you're going to cut on the left of the score line to create a little gap, because you want that area available for your paper to expand into when you do this fold. Because now you're coming into that fold with 2 pieces of paper and you don't want it real bulky in there. If you have a problem folding this up, that's where the problem's going to be, is right there. Just get in there and trim a little bit more out. And then once you get it to where it works properly for you the way you want it, then come in and do your little punch here, your thumb punch, before you glue this down. The only place you're going to glue on this page would be the bottom, unless you want to staple, and then you would glue these down into the spine area like I showed you before. So there you go. I think that gives you all of the ideas that I have. I think I'm drained. And if you have any questions, just contact me. And I'll be back to show this album too, probably when I get it done, so you can see how I did it differently, trending more towards the blue instead of the green. And I'll come back too with my Word of the Year album once I get pages in it rocking and rolling, so you can see what it's really going to look like. Oh, real quick too, this is all I had left. I told you I'd show you. This is all I had left after I did the original album out of the whole tropical 8x8 pad. The tropical Travelogue graphic 45 8x8 pad. That's all I had left. Actually, 2 of these are the 12x12s I bought. The one that I bought is called the Exotic Destination. That's the 12x12. Those were the brown and the beige tags. And the other one was the Seaside Holiday 12x12. And those were the colored tags, the big ladies, and the really cute and eye-catching color tags that I've used throughout here. But otherwise, this is all I had left. And it's borders. So I'm going to have to try to utilize more borders than the next one. So thank you for hanging with me, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.